Calls Captain Peter Corney.
Captain, if you'll move in, you're talking to the mic, we can all hear you, and please state and spell your name.
Certainly, Your Honor. Captain Peter Corney, born of England, C-O-R-N-E-Y. I'm the captain of the Santa Rosa de Chacabuco.
Captain, how did you become captain of the Santa Rosa?
The great Captain Bouchard made me captain. He appointed me at Honolulu before our trip to California.
How did he acquire your ship?
Well, he acquired it from King Kamehameha, the ruler sovereign of those islands. It had been a mutiny ship, and he found it there. He recovered it for his nation, Argentina.
Did he not forge documents in order to get that ship away from the king?
Well, I suppose you could call it a forgery. International relations, very flexible in those days. Kamehameha was a new country. Argentina was a new country. He did what he could, but I suppose legally, yes.
Thank you. Yes or no, did you raise the American flag when entering the port of Monterey?
I did indeed, under my captain's orders.
Did you hoist the Argentinian flag when approaching land?
Yes, when we engaged the Spanish forces, we raised the Argentine flag.
When asked to identify yourself when approaching land in Spanish California, what language did you answer in?
English.
Was this all to confuse the men at the Presidio?
Yes, absolutely.
And you succeeded.
Presumably. We found out later that they had been made aware of our presence and were preparing for the arrival of our ships. But we did our best to surprise them.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Cross?
Thank you, Captain. During the voyage, did Captain Bouchard instruct the ship's officers that their goal was to harass the Spanish and revolutionize the province?
Absolutely. Spreading freedom throughout the Americas.
Prior to arriving in Monterey, did you obtain provisions from the friendly California Russians?
We did indeed. I have friends up there.
With your leadership, did you hope that the folks in Monterey would rise up in revolution against the barbarous Spaniards?
Absolutely.
When planning the landing at Monterey, did Captain Bouchard order you to make shore at midnight?
Yes, that was the original plan, he told me.
That's the question. Wasn't the plan to take the Spaniards by surprise to avoid any hostilities?
Yes.
Did you flagrantly disobey his order and instead allow your officers to go to their cabins and sleep, thereby delaying the landing until morning?
Yes.
As a result of your disobeying a specific order, didn't Captain Bouchard hold you personally responsible for the loss of life on your ship in the burning of Monterey?
Yes, I suppose he did.
Didn't Captain Bouchard write a letter to Governor Sola proposing to avoid any further hostilities by agreeing to an honorable exchange of prisoners?
Yes, that's correct.
When you captained the Santa Rosa to San Juan Capistrano, did Captain Bouchard put you in charge of the landing party?
Yes, he appointed me to take charge of that.
Did he make a request without doing the slightest injury for some potatoes, corn, and meat?
Yes, perfectly reasonable.
When the Spaniards obscenely refused the request, did he order the pillaging of the town to feed his hungry men?
Yes.
Were the men authorized to burn the king's soldiers' barracks?
Yes, of course.
Were they ordered not to molest the church buildings?
Absolutely.
Were you again derelict in your duties when you permitted your men to consume and squander excess amounts of mission wine and spirits?
Yes, but you try controlling such men.
Didn't your insubordination,
Describe excessive.
did not your insubordination result in Captain Bouchard having to flog 20 of his intoxicated soldiers?
Yes, he waited till the next morning they slipped it off. So
Thank you, no further.
Counsel, were you suggesting there was some improper Russian collusion in this? Redirect.
Captain, when you arrived in Monterey, did you not overtake the Presidio?
yes, we did.
Did you not raise the Argentinian flag over Monterey?
We did indeed.
Since Monterey was the capital of California at that time, could you say that Argentina controlled California at that time?
I would agree with that.
And for 6 days, that was true, right? While you pilfered the town and our capital.
We supplied our ships and our men, but yes.
So then you were finally forced out,
We retired to move southward.
and you had to leave your prisoners behind.
We tried to negotiate to retrieve them, but the Spaniards did not bite.
No further questions.
Any further cross?
No further cross, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. You may step down. Next witness.
The prosecution would like to call Joseph Chapman, please.
Okay, sir, if you'll move in, try talking to the microphone. And state and spell your name, please.
I was born Joseph Chapman. That's Josephchapman. I was rededicated Jose Juan Chapman after I was married. Would you like me to spell that as well?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Were you second in command for Captain Conrad on the Santa Rosa?
Yes, I was.
What happened to you when you were attempting to anchor off the coast of Monterey?
As I exited the ship, I was taken prisoner. Almost immediately.
How were you treated as a prisoner?
Knowing how they treat gentlemen of my stature, I convinced them that I could be a benefit to them for my freedom.
Were you under the orders of Captain Bouchard as well as Captain Conrad at this point?
Yes, I was, but not willingly.
Explain not willingly.
Well, there's a term. It's called legally Shanghai. I was an apprentice shipbuilder in Boston. I ended up on a ship that I knew nothing about against my will. Henceforth, they said it was legally Shanghai.
When the captains left Monterey, they left you behind, correct?
Yes, they did, because I was in prison.
So what happened when you were left behind?
Again, I convinced the locals, the governor, that I could be a benefit to their way of living. Being a master carpenter, I could help them rebuild or build new churches, grist mills, and anything they desired.
You spent the rest of your life in California, correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you were in effect a bit of a hero to California then?
No, I'm but a humble man. I'm no hero.
You built the grist mills, you showed them how to build a ship, the second ship in Los Angeles, isn't that true?
That is true.
When the crew of the Santa Rosa mutinied and the voyage ended in Sandwich Islands, what we call Hawaii today, is that correct what happened?
The crew mutiny.
Were you a part of the crew?
Against my will.
I see. You did defend the captain,
To stay alive.
so you did not defend the captain.
I did what I felt necessary.
Your Honor,
To
will you
save
direct
my
the
life.
witness to answer my question?
I think he's answered the question. Next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. When Captain Bouchard rescued the Santa Rosa, did you volunteer to be the second mate on the voyage to California?
Can you describe volunteered?
Isn't it true that your primary motivation to board the Santa Rosa was to go home and not liberate the province of Spain?
My primary objective was to stay alive.
Upon arriving at Monterey, did you report?
Have you finished your answer?
Not really, no.
I got my yes or no, Your Honor.
Yes, but
Upon
again, I
arriving-
wanted to stay alive, sir.
Yep. Upon
And
arriving,
Counsel.
life precedes everything.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Upon arriving at Monterey, did you report that you were taken prisoner by the Spaniards, but somehow you miraculously walked away?
Well, if I was taken prisoner, how could I report that?
Aboard the Santa Rosa, did you attend the required frequent training on the Articles of War?
Mandatory meetings.
In fact, did homesickness cause you to desert? And you falsely claim to have been taken prisoner.
No, sir, that's not true.
Tell us, Mr. Chapman, is death by hanging still the punishment for deserting the ship in wartime?
It is also the punishment of being a pirate.
Thank you.
One question on redirect.
Yes.
Is that still on?
Is this,
Defense trick.
can you hear me?
Technician on the way.
Is it? One more question, please. Were you in fact taken prisoner when you reached the shores of Monterey?
When I reached the shores of Monterey, I was taken prisoner.
Thank you. No further questions.
Any recross?
No problem.
You may step down.
Thank you.
Next witness.
The prosecution calls Ensign Arguello.
Bailiff?
Must be an honest man.
Okay, sir, if you move in close, talking to the microphone, please state and spell your name.
Ensign Alvarez Santiago Arguello, Arguelio.
Go ahead, Ensign.
Thank you. Ensign, what was your position in San Juan Capistrano?
My job was to protect San Juan Capistrano.
What did you observe Captain Bouchard's men doing after landing in San Juan Capistrano?
I didn't observe them doing anything. After the reading of the proclamation and giving him his reply, we left for the hills east of town.
So you were not in town at the time of the raid?
I just told you, we met with him, we heard the demands, we gave the reply, and then we moved east of town.
Thank you. No further questions.
Cross.
Tell me, Ensign Arguello, has the King of Spain routinely been chronically delinquent in your pay and support for your command?
Spain has been chronically delinquent in payment in support of not only our troops, but of the church and their mission to continue here in the Californias.
Did Governor Sola order you and your small company of 30 ill-equipped and demoralized men to protect San Juan Capistrano from Captain Bouchard's far larger force of trained men?
The actual order is to protect life and property.
Is that why, when Bouchard's men pillaged the town, you did not feel morally obligated to engage them?
We viewed it after seeing what had happened at Monterey that it would be better to evacuate as many people, livestock, provisions east of town and allow them to have access to the town. In an act of good faith, we offered up the gunpowder and shot that we would have normally used in a skirmish. It was in the soldiers' barracks. That's all we actually left them. What the mission and their fathers and the Padres did was of their own business. If they left anything there, that was up to them.
So you merely went to the high on the hill and watched. Is that true?
I changed the directive to save lives, to save the lives of the people of San Juan Capistrano, to save the lives of the men in my garrison, and to save the lives of the attacking force. There was no reason to engage.
I just wanted to clarify, you said you watched.
From the hillside,
Correct. Did the Captain Bouchard's men burn the soldiers' barracks?
I did not observe anything like that.
Does the Articles of War authorize soldiers to destroy the buildings belonging to an enemy government?
That's kind of a leading question. It's unclear whether there is an actual article of war present at the time.
Did you witness Captain Bouchard's men harm any church property or Indians?
Son, we were pretty far away. We didn't really see him do anything.
Did you see his men and the Indians emptying and drinking the mission's wine and spirits?
Again, sir, we didn't observe any of those actions.
Didn't you face harsh criticism from Governor Sola for your refusal to obey the governor's direct order to protect the people in the government's property of San Juan Capistrano?
After seeing what had happened in Monterey, I did take liberties with the directive and the order.
Thank you.
I protected lives, the lives of the people in San Juan Capistrano, the lives of my men, and the lives of the attacking force. It was a more Christian way to handle it.
Redirect.
One question. How many lives were lost in San Juan Capistrano?
I believe the final estimate may only be 2, but it was unknown to me whether it was during any portion of Bouchard's time in town.
So, in fact, you did save lives in San Juan Capistrano.
We may have been called cowards for what we did, but it was a better redirect to try to save as many lives as possible.
No further questions, thank you.
Recross.
Redirect, approximately how many people have called you a coward?
You.
Oh, I've heard it direct. Thank you, Don.
Any further questions?
No further questions, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Any other witnesses for the prosecution?
Yes, one final witness, Father Boscano, please.
Padre, could you please state and spell your full name and try talking to the microphone?
Father Hipolito Bouchard, Boscana.
Correct?
Father, are you the priest at the San Juan Capistrano mission?
Yes.
Did you fear for your safety and the safety of the mission artifacts from the pirates?
Yes.
To where did you escape?
To the hills east of San Juan Capistrano.
You did not take the wine with you, correct?
No.
What was the reason for leaving the wine?
Not reason. We didn't. I couldn't hear it. No reason.
Was it because you did not have enough time and you had to take the other artifacts with you?
In part, yes, we have to take the artifacts.
Thank you, no further questions.
Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tell me, Father, were any of your church belongings harmed in any way by Captain Bouchard?
No, not at all.
Other than the two unfortunate Indians that Ensign Arguello allowed themselves to drink to death, and the third that went crazy, were any of your neophytes assaulted or injured in any way?
No, not at all.
Has King Ferdinand neglected the mission by not providing sufficient financial or material support to your church?
Yes.
In the church writings, are the king's soldiers described as being a bunch of heretics,
Yes.
schismatics,
Yes.
excommunicated persons,
Yes.
heathens,
Yes.
and a few Moors?
Hey, watch out when you say that on his
You
tongue.
repeat the question, please.
I couldn't hear you. That include Moors.
No, no more.
Did Governor Sola issue multiple false warnings during the previous 2 years that hostile ships were en route?
Yes.
Are these the reasons you were slow in following Governor Sola's warnings and why you were tired of Spain's control and the reason you were secretly praying for the revolution of the province?
Yes, it was.
Please tell us, Father. Are any of the missing artifacts still buried in the Trabuco Mesa area near the old mission Estancia Adobe?
I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you.
Were you right?
No further questions.
You may sit down. Thank you very much. Any other witnesses?
The prosecution closes.
Defense witnesses?
Well, are you sure?
Your Honor, prosecution calls the defense.
Hipolito Bouchard.
Don't forget the microphone.
Let's wait for the captain.
Captain, did you take the oath when the clerk administered it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then if you'll talk into the microphone and state and spell your name, please.
My name is Hipolito Bouchard, Hippolyti Bouchard.
Okay, direct.
If I may. Captain Bouchard, the jury and I would like to take this brief moment to personally thank you for being a true patriot and for freeing us from the...
Counsel, you get a chance to argue at the end of the case. You've got some questions asked.
State records show that you were born in France and then left to fight for the independence of Argentina.
Yes, this is true.
Did you receive a letter of marque issued by Argentina to pursue properties owned by the King of Spain anywhere in the world?
That I did, yes.
When you were out to sea in a hostile harbor, or dealing with a mutinous crew, fighting off pirates, or defending yourself against those dastardly Spaniards, was it ever practical for you to consult a local barrister for advice?
That seems somewhat difficult, but no, I did not.
It has been whispered that you were motivated by personal gain, but wasn't your true purpose to harass the Spanish and to revolutionize the provinces?
Yes.
When you entered harbors under false colors or a white flag of truce, was this always used in good faith to avoid hostility?
Most certainly.
You've been accused of creating a letter without authorization to seize the mutinized Argentine ship that you found in the Sandwich Islands. You hold the Argentine naval rank of Commodore. Does that rank give you the legal authority to use all means to seize that ship?
Most certainly.
In the letter that you wrote to the Alcalde of San Juan Capistrano, do you allude to a simple, well, do you have it with you?
That I do. Hold on.
Start at the portion when you're demanding food for your men.
Of course, I explained why I was there, and then I asked for the following provisions: 20 sacks of potatoes, 10 sacks of corn, 4 head of cattle.
Was that unreasonable?
I think not.
Did you promise to leave without harm if those were provided?
These are my exact words. If this contribution is fulfilled, I shall retire without doing the slightest injury. But if under any pretext whatsoever you try to evade my reasonable and humane proposal, you will experience the rigors of war, and you will see to just what point your rule extends. And you shall reply to this within 1/2 hour. May God keep you.
When that ensign Arguello threatened you with violence, did that surprise you?
No.
You are commended for only seizing the necessary provisions for your crew and not seeking revenge on those Spaniards. Are you always such a benevolent captain?
I would like to think so, but others may have a different opinion.
Go further, Your Honor.
Captain, did you falsely make a proclamation to the Hawaiian king that you had permission of the Argentinian government to commandeer the ship Santa Rosa?
No, I did not.
Then how did you get the papers conveniently to give to the king in order to seize the Santa Rosa?
The rank that I held, the purpose that I sailed, gave me all the permission I needed.
Did not those instructions run out a month before you made this declaration?
Mail service at sea during the time was terribly slow, so I relied not upon it whatsoever.
What you did was you chose to ignore the date, correct?
That could be interpreted that way, perhaps.
Did you not encourage and order your captain on the Santa Rosa to raise the American flag and then the Argentinian flag when they were approaching port?
Very common trait of all sailors of the sea of the time to use multiple flags in whatever situation called for.
And what was that situation?
That we were coming ashore and we asked for some assistance.
And you were going to raid the port of Monterey and take over the Presidio, correct?
If the assistance wasn't met, yes, that was an outcome.
So by the time that you got down to San Juan Capistrano, and you just read from the order that you gave to your, to your friends when you were landing in San Juan Capistrano, while you gave a quote of the last sentence of your order, I would wish you would look at your first sentence, which includes the phrase, representing an independent nation, we will persecute and make war on all European Spain. However, where there was no war with European Spain for you at that time, correct?
I do believe I was still feeling that I was at war, so.
You were feeling, but it was not a fact.
Facts are hard to come by when you're thousands of miles away from the source.
Facts are not difficult to come by when you make them up as you go along. There are no further questions.
You too will get your chance to make your arguments.
Captain Bouchard, just to clarify, you are an honorable man, and you would never falsely testify before the court.
That is absolutely true.
And as a Commodore, you had all authority to seize the ship Santa Rosa.
Absolutely so.
In the best of your abilities, you tried to secure food and rations for your men.
That as well.
Haven't we covered this, counsel?
One moment, Your Honor. And didn't you do this in the honor of providing freedom of the people of this province?
It was completely my objective, yes.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No further questions.
Step down. Any other defense witnesses? Any other prosecution rebuttal witnesses?
No further.
Okay. Argument then. People go first.
Jurors, you have just listened to a very long and important trial in the state of California. Your job of jurors is to determine whether Hipolito Bouchard was a patriot, freeing out of California from the rule of Spain, a lawful privateer working under a letter of marque against Spain, or a private for personal gain. As it has been shown, at the time of the California coastal invasion, Spanish California was not, and I repeat, not, at war with Argentina. Captain Corney admitted to this when he flew another country's flag before entering the port of California. If Bouchard's motives were noble and patriotic, he would have been eager to show the Argentinian flag. His privateer license allowed for him to enter California ports for trading purposes and for supplies. But he wanted more, and he did not want to pay. And those records were, not according to the date, valid by the time he reached California. And although on the California coast, his rating was not on the high seas, he had pirated ships on the high seas during his 2-year voyage in Madagascar, in Java, and in securing the Santa Rosa by illegal means while in Hawaii. Do not let the defense's argument that Bouchard was a good person because he only burned and plundered Spanish property and not church property fool you. Hipolito Bouchard was a cruel and dishonest captain who wanted to return to Argentina with booty and ships any way he could. Hipolito Bouchard was no patriot, and he violated his privateer license. He is plundered, murdered, and pilfered for personal gain. In other words, Hipolito Bouchard was a pirate.
Defense?
Thank you. You have promised to listen to all testimony, to give Mr. Bouchard the benefit of any doubt. There is no doubt that he is a patriot. And just as obvious, he was not a pirate. Were all the witnesses as credible as Mr. Bouchard? Let's examine Mr. Bancroft, a true gentleman and a scholar. But he has so many facts, dates, and names in mind. Is it any surprise that he gets a few dates and facts mixed up? Especially at his age. Let us remember Peter Corning, the insubordinate captain of the Santa Rosa, who disobeyed a direct order resulting in the deaths of his men, civilians, in the burning of Monterey. His word cannot be trusted. He would say anything to shield himself from blame. Oh, Mr. Joseph Chapman. As you recall, he was the soldier that falsely claimed he was captured by Spaniards and miraculously walked away. He may have walked away, but only because he was never captured. He was a deserter, and deserters rightfully should be hung by the neck until death. Or we can look at the testimony of Ensign Arguello. He was ordered by Governor Sola to protect the people of San Juan Capistrano. Instead, he hightailed it to the high country up into the hills to cower and hide at a safe distance. Cowardice in the face of the enemy is a capital offense. He would swear to anything to avoid the hangman's noose. This only leaves Father Boscano. As you recall, he was the fellow who was in no rush to pack up his things. He hated the Spanish soldiers. The mission writings tell us much. Father Boscanos admired Captain Bouchard's orders that safeguarded the mission and protected his neophyte's property. Was the father secretly rooting for the revolution? Was he a clandestine admirer of Hipolito Bouchard? We may never know for sure, but for certain, Father Boscano knows Captain Bouchard is no pirate. There you have it. I cannot help you anymore. Your decision must be beyond a reasonable doubt. The only certainty we have, beyond any doubt, is that Don Hipolito Bouchard is a patriot for all the Americas.
Angry people have the word in any rebuttal.
Members of the jury, that was very eloquent. However, it did not represent much fact, as you heard from the witnesses themselves. They spoke to truth, and truth will always rule out. So as you take your time to think about this verdict, think about what you heard from true witnesses who were on the scene at the time and who understood exactly what was going on. Bouchard was no patriot. He certainly was not a privateer, but he certainly was a pirate out for personal gain, and that was true in his entire life. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as I told you earlier, the issue in this case is whether the defendant was a pirate or a privateer. And a privateer must be acting under a valid letter of marque. The fact of whether or not he's a patriot is really not relevant at all as to whether he was a pirate or a privateer. He is a privateer if he's acting under that valid letter of marque. He is a pirate if he was not. You must decide based on the evidence in this case, and nothing counsel has said as evidence, but only on what the witnesses say. You must decide whether or not he is guilty of being a pirate or he was acting as a privateer. You may make a finding on whether he was a patriot, but again, that's not the deciding question on whether he is a privateer or a pirate. So with that, please, we will allow you time to reach your verdict. And if we're going to collect any ballots that the audience fills out, and we'll await your verdict, ladies and gentlemen.
If the audience at this time would fill out your ballots, pass them to the outsides, we will collect those from you. Thank you.
While the jury is considering its verdict, the refreshments are being served at the back table there, so please go and help yourself. Thank you.
Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning.
We have a tally here. Okay, the clerk has counted the audience tally. The vote in the audience is 56 for not guilty and 33 for guilty. I have the jury verdict forms, and all 12 have voted not guilty. Ladies and gentlemen, jury check over here. Okay, jury is excused.
We'd like to thank several people and groups. The gentleman who was just singing was Joel Robinson, and he and his pirate band entertained us yesterday at the Adobe. John Johnson was there with his macaw, looking very authentic. Irene and the Yesteryear Dancers appeared yesterday and entertained us, as did the young folklorico and mariachi band members. And of course, we want to thank everyone who rehearsed and worked on this, and they're all listed for you in your program. The people that participated in today's event, and also the members of the jury of the Spurs and Satin Historical Reenactment Society. I'd like to give special thanks to Heidi Hyde, who made some original recipe breads and shortcake cookies from the mission period time, and provided some prickly pear punch that's there, along with other grapes. All of those things are provided, are of the period. And so thanks to the Dana Point Historical Society for providing those refreshments. Thank you.
On behalf of the San Juan Capistrano Historical Society, I just want you to know that Bob Minty's pirate exhibit is still going on until the 18th of this month. So if you haven't had a chance to come down and see it, please do. And again, thank you all for coming. This was really a fun event, and I hope you had as much fun as we all did.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in March for our next annual meeting. Have a car of a day. Watch it burn the next night.